Good morning. I'm Jennifer from Bamboo Sorcery, and we're going to tell you a little bit about biochar, bamboo biochar, and actually show you some of the more exciting parts of the process. So first, what's biochar? What is this stuff? It's actually a form of charcoal that's produced in an oxygen-free environment. Very hot, very clean burn, and what you're left with is the char, which has lots of cells in it, like little pockets, like little apartment buildings, microscopic for microorganisms to live in. So it's often used agriculturally, inoculated with compost tea or compost, and then used as a soil amendment. And we use it in our farm. I use it for my houseplants. I use it for my vegetable garden. We mix it into our potting soil. And it actually degrades very slowly. So it's considered a carbon sequestration method because you have the bamboo, it's a plant, it's photosynthesizing, creating its tissues. Then we have waste bamboo from our farm, and we put it in these piles. We use tea stakes to hold it condensed, and we'll burn it using this technique. And then what you're left with is the char, which we inoculate with compost tea or compost. And like I said, the carbon is very persistent. It doesn't break down. So once it's in the soil, it's like taking the carbon from the atmosphere and putting it into the soil where it can stay. And by the way, it's, really improves your soil health and your plant health. So that's what bamboo biochar is. And we really like doing this at Bamboo Sorcery because, number one, it uses our waste bamboo. And instead of sending the carbon just up into the atmosphere, we're fixing it into a product that we can use to improve our soil structure and our soil fertility. So here is a little bit about what we need to do in preparation. First of all, we have to build the piles, and that happens over a month's time. Then we need to make sure that it's a burn permissible day in the Bay Area Air Quality District. And we need to make sure that our local fire district knows that we're doing a permitted agricultural burn. And then we gathered all our safety equipment, all our shovels and rakes and hoses, a fire extinguisher, a torch to start the fire, and bandanas because it gets real hot in there. You'll see we'll all be sweating. And eye protection when we're close, leather gloves, we're wearing cotton clothing. So here we are. It's getting close to 10 a.m., which is when we can start the burn, and I think we're ready. I've made a bird's nest up here to light, and the burn will happen from the top down. So what happens is the gases are consumed rather than just sent out into the atmosphere. So we're always watching which direction the wind is blowing so that we can keep an eye out for any embers. You hear all that popping and cracking. That's the inner nodes exploding as they heat up. It's a pretty oxygen-starved fire, and it's burning any gases and smoke that are coming out are getting consumed by the flames. So that's one reason why you have a very clean burn. And you see the smoke there in the middle, kind of gray. It's mostly getting consumed before it goes up. So you can start to see where the ash is forming. It's kind of silvery, and underneath that is biochar. Ideally, we get in there with a hose and rake, but the fire's still too hot. So I'm going to put out a little area there where it's ashy looking. So we're putting out the fire before it turns totally to ash. Near the end here, we're kind of throwing stuff that hasn't burned on top of the pile and pulling down the stuff that is thoroughly char and putting the fire out. So over here, that's all good biochar, or mostly. If you can hear, it's like a tinkly sound. One pile down, 4 to go. So we've been experimenting with this process for years, and we're at this point producing more than we can actually use here on the farm. So we're offering this product to you. And it's now available to buy to use on your houseplants or your vegetables or your bamboo. So I hope you enjoy it, and may your plants thrive.